What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're taking a look at Better Call Saul Season 2. And I'm going to make this review as short as I possibly can. Overall, I think Season 2 of Better Call Saul is fantastic. I think this is excellent. Better Call Season 2 of Better Call Saul expands on the storyline that was already captivating from its first season, and now it gets even better with the second season. So many good things happen in this season. We get to see Jimmy McGill take the job of David Sumain, and we see him try to acclimate himself to David Sumain, but we also see that he's the type of lawyer who cannot conform to a lawyer's traditional sensibilities. He has to be his own lawyer, and we see him struggle with David Sumain throughout the entire season, and I think that's some of the good and some of the best parts of this season is Jimmy trying to get acclimated to Davis and Maine, and I really like the chemistry between Bob Odenkirk and Ed Begley Jr., who plays Clifford Maine, who is the boss of Davis and Maine. And I thought Ed Begley Jr. was a great addition to the Better Call Saul cast in season two. I really like him as Cliff. I like the chemistry between him and Jimmy. I like how it starts off as really smooth, then as Jimmy starts to rebel just to get out of it, you can see you can see how a mutual relationship became more of an antagonistic relationship, and it's done very very well. Uh, but that's just not it. The stuff with Chuck and Jimmy also is greatly expanded upon too, and the rivalry between these two brothers really starts to heat up in season two, particularly at the end of season two when Kim is pretty much paying for Jimmy's sins, manages to land this big deal with a bank called Mesa Verde, and then Chuck and Howard Hamlin pretty much steal it from underneath Kim, which then has Jimmy pretty much do forgery in order for Kim to get the Mesa Verde case back, which again, which further fuels the rivalry between Chuck and Jimmy, and that's where it really goes full blown, especially when you get to the end of the season where Chuck pretty much entraps Jimmy by recording Jimmy's confession to the forgery. So yeah, a lot of underhanded tactics by Chuck, and season two further just cements Chuck as the puppet master. So in season one, Jimmy called Howard Hamlin Darth Vader, but it's clear as day that Chuck, he is Emperor, he is Sidious. He is Lord Sidious. He's Emperor Palpatine. He is Palpatine. Chuck is Palpatine. And he just does it so well. And he does it in a way where he comes across as completely innocent and in the right, when we all know that Chuck is the real mastermind. And he's really doing whatever he can to screw over Jimmy. And Jimmy is just retaliating against his brother Chuck, who Jimmy still has a lot of admiration and respect for, especially at the end of of season two, where Chuck suffers an accident and Jimmy's right on the scene to take care of his brother. Jimmy still loves his brother Chuck, and and maybe Chuck does have some love for Jimmy, but he has mostly resentment for him. And again, Michael McKean's performance as Chuck, I can't say no more. He's fantastic. Patrick Fabian as Howard Hamlin, I liked him in season one. I still like him in season two. Season two shows more of Howard's more dickish side, where he puts Kim in dock review after she had because she had to pay for something Jimmy did. For some reason, I can't remember what it was. Anywho, Kim has to pay. Pretty much, Kim in this season, she pretty much has to pay for Jimmy's sins until you get to the end of it. Until you get to the end where Jimmy and Kim decide to become co-partners and solo practitioners. Uh, Other stuff about season two I like. Mike's storyline in season two gets even better. We see him pair up with Nacho, who I forgot to mention was in season one. He wasn't a huge part of season one, but he was in Nacho was introduced in season one. Season two was where Nacho really started to become more of a focal point character, and he gets paired up with Mike. And I really enjoyed the chemistry between Jonathan Banks and Michael Mondo, who played Nacho. They really work well off one another. It's kind of like an early version of Mike and Jesse in a way, but only much more different. You know, Nacho's more independent and he's more wary than Jesse is. But then you got Mike, who is always wary, and he's just the guy. And I thought the chemistry between these two was really great. This is Mike's introduction into the drug world, which eventually leads to where he's going to be in Breaking Bad when he hooks up with Gus. And this also sees Mike's rivalry with the Salamanca family also take form, because we find out in season 2 that because Nacho pretty much paid Mike, Mike was the one who put Tuco in prison, and this is what started the feud between Mike and the Salamancas, because Hector Salamanca pretty much threatened and tried to buy off Mike to reduce Tuco's sentence, which Mike ultimately did after the murder cousins from season 3 of Breaking Bad threatened to kill Mike's family. So yeah, good stuff with Mike in this season. Some really good stuff with Nacho in this season as well. Like I said, the pairing of Mike and Nacho was really well done, and it works for me because I like it a lot. And season 1 actually hinted at that a lot by planting the seeds. Season 2 is where it grew, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's great stuff. So yeah, those are my speedy thoughts on Better Call Saul season 2. Overall, this is another 10 out of 10. Season 2 is perfection. I love it. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.